And that is exactly how you get down. How does that music not pump you up? This is how you start week 5 in the National Football League. Welcome to the universe, the DTL universe, and DTL Prime Time Live simulcast on our good partners at Stadium. Wherever you find Stadium, you will find us, the Stadium app. Watch Stadium.com, Amazon Prime Video. I got it on my big screen right next to me right now. Also, Roku TV, YouTube TV, simulcast on, for all of you OGs and degenerates out there, our YouTube channel. Now, tonight, it's a big-time one on Thursday Night Football. And I got to tell you, tonight could have ramifications all the way to the end of the season. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have no time to waste. You know I've got the best crew in the business. So, without further ado, AB, hit me. It's time for the picks. Shout out to my man, Jared. He says, let's freaking go, Coach. You're damn right. We go 5 wide tonight, and look who I've got. It's like an embarrassment of riches. My man, Big Chuck, is here. My numbers guy, Raphael, is here. Our fantasy guru, Big Soupy, is here. And my man, AB, is here. But, gentlemen, do we not need to send out a congratulations? There are some people that weren't here for the morning show. AB, Soupy. We've got a new member of the DTL universe, and it's 5 pounds, I think 9 ounces. Seabass, and he's in the chat right now. Congratulate Seabass on the new baby boy coming into the DTL universe. And I know for you, AB and Raphael, you're big on the kid scene. Are you not, AB?
Oh, huge. Yeah. They don't allow me in Chuck E. Cheese because they don't have children, even though I went with a family. Yeah.
That's all right. You can be in our family, kid. You can be in our family. All right, Seabass, if you have any questions for him, he'll answer them in real time. He's got to be feeling on top of the world. Another baby boy, so congratulations to him. All right, gentlemen, we got a lot to get to. AB, the matchup tonight, you've got 2 teams that have played pretty well out of the chute from the NFC South. Now, according to DraftKings, this number has been moving throughout the day. It's now moved to 2.5. The total at 43.5. That's come down. The number has gone up. AB, start with me. Why do you think all these numbers are moving right now?
Well, because I'll tell you why. This is the most difficult game on film to break down. And I'm not kidding. It's the most difficult we've had all year. We'll explain throughout the show why, but every single thing that one team does well, the other team is the exact opposite, and then so on and so on. These two are mirror teams. Be careful tonight. I'm telling you, be careful. This game is going to get weird instantly.
And if AB says it's going to get weird, it's going to get weird. We've got the no-fly zone coming up in about 14 minutes from right now. You don't want to miss that. My numbers guy, Raphael, let me come over to you because I know you've been looking at this all day. Your computers are always going. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it's funny. When it moved to 2.5, my phone started blowing up, asking me, will we see a 3? And we will not see a 3 because the casual bettor is all over the 2.5 or with the Bucs. The wise guys and the house are on Atlanta. So if those two mixing back and forth, we'll probably see 2.5. Maybe some books will have 2, depending on what you have or what they need for the house. But 2.5 will probably be the solid number for the rest of the night.
All right, you said 3. Well, good thing you didn't say 4 because apparently, and I hate to blow up a spot this early in the show, but Soupy, apparently you're our fantasy guru and you're 0-4 in the DTL league. Is that correct? 0-4?
Well, I have, let's see, Debo. I've had Kittle. I have Anthony Richardson. My entire lineup has been injured. I mean, should have maybe drafted a little better. I'm not liking the way Keenan Allen's played a year, but I made a big trade this week, so we'll see how that works out.
All I needed was a yes, coach. I'm 0-4. That's all I was looking for. I'm also looking for some breakdown tonight. You always, this is Thursday, and then tomorrow, Football Friday, you always like to give us our sits and our fades. And I know there's a lot of studs playing tonight. From a fantasy perspective, how are you kind of looking at this game and then your take?
I'm looking at, for Atlanta, Bijan Robinson is going to be more in the receiving factor. Tyler Algier, I think he's a sneaky sleeper for tonight. I'm watching him.
Really interesting. Yeah. We've got our key matchups coming up later in the show. We look at the key running matchups and also the key receiving matchups. Now, Big Chuck, You're always our quietest crew member, but man, you find some really cool angles to look at this game, and this number for the Falcons continues to go up to 2.5. You're kind of a low-key Falcons guy. You live down in the area of the country. What are you seeing, sir?
Evening, Coach Crew. Yeah, I loved it. I got in on this number early, and it keeps moving in our favor. But being a Falcons guy, that's a negatory. You know, I'm with the Saints. But for tonight, yeah, I'm rolling with the Dirty Birds.
All right, very good. All right, let's get into our picks for the night because we got a lot of them now. Here in the prime time, we're still going to split them up in the morning. You guys loved it today. We're going to keep them together in the A's. But here, we just talk one game, so that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to start, AB, because this is a great game to really show the crew and the fan base how the number can change throughout the day and how it's important sometimes to get ahead of it or to wait. This morning on the morning show, I gave the Bucs out. I like them tonight. I just think they're a much better team than the Falcons. They were plus 1.5. So that's the number I have because I already bet that ticket. It's now 2.5, so that helps me. I don't know if I like it or I don't like it, but a great education on that. Now, let's come over to you. You like the Bucs and the Falcons? A lot of passing tonight.
I do, Coach, and we're going to explain fully why I like this. But, yeah, we're going to take Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins total over 44.5 completions. Both of these defenses are the epitome of bend but don't break. They will drop back in a nickel. They'll drop back in a dime. They're going to give you the short passing game. They're not going to give it to you deep. And guess what? Both of these teams, they don't throw deep either. You look at the Falcons passing offense, guess what? They only have 2 passes over 40-plus yards this season. However, they only have 1 rushing touchdown this season. That's right, 1. I'm telling you, this game is the weirdest game that we've broke down so far this year, and there are stats that get deeper than that. But I'm going to take over 44.5 completions because both quarterbacks will take what the defenses give them.
Jared says, I love the play AB. I can't wait to see the no-fly zone. I'm thinking maybe I should have added under longest completion tonight in this game. Maybe I should have done that. I don't know. I'll take a look at it in the next hour or so. All right, now, the other 3 of you, I don't know if I should just yell at you or just put your X's on the board right freaking now, because the Falcons are not going to get done. But let's start with the straight money line. Let's take the points out of it, Big Chuck. Coming over to you.
Yeah, you see how important just taking the money line is. We just go back to last week with the Saints game and come down to the 2-point cushion. So anytime, and I'll continue to preach this, minus 2.5 and under, I'm always taking the money line just to take that chance out of it. If it gets to 3, then I'll take the 3. But yeah, I feel more comfortable riding with the money line, and now it's already went up. So feeling even better about old Kirk and the Dirty Birds.
Oh, Kirk and the Dirty Birds, Mr. Branding 101 himself. All right, Soupy. You also like the Falcons, but you're not scared about that 2.5. And you also like the second half. That's interesting handicapping. Explain yourself.
I think the Falcons, the problem is tonight, they are going to be missing their center. So even if they go 4-man, if the Buccaneers go 4-man rush or even blitz, they may have trouble in the pocket. What Kirk Cousins needs to do, like AB said, short passes to Ray, screens to Bijan. I think Bijan maybe lines up in the slot tonight. That is going to be the key. And on defense, they just need to interrupt Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and the 1-2 punch of Bucky Irving and Rashad White. And this will give the Dirty Birds a chance. And in the second half, well, the Buccaneers are allowing 10.5 points. So let's have the Falcons score 10.5.
Very interesting. Look at you. By the way, AB, quick chat question. Very, very important, I might add. Does AB have a Taco Bell in his house like Devontae Adams, who is on the trade block, apparently?
We should have one in the house, right? Look, they brought back the pintos and cheese. All right, they're starting to listen. They're following the show, and they're starting to listen that, you know what? You play the hits. What people want to buy, all right, you sell. That's what business and capitalism is. If you want to buy it, I'm going to sell it. We don't need to have fries at Taco Bell. No. Yeah.
Pintos and cheese is low-key the star of Taco Bell. Who are we talking about here?
I know.
Who are we talking about? Well, I know Raphael's talking about a teaser, and AB just teased us about thinking about what you may do for dinner tonight. Taco Bell Bucs. But Raphael, I'm coming over to you because the new number helped you with your teaser. You're up.
Yeah, my grandparents are rolling around talking about Taco Bell in their graves, but that's another story. To give me the Falcons 6-point teaser, we'll take the Falcons plus 4.5 and the under at 50. I just don't see that many points being scored, especially with a lot of screens that we were talking about, dumb passes. I think it's going to be very careful. And like AB said, a weird game. I 110% agree with him as I was dissecting this game all afternoon. It just smells like something weird is going to happen in this NFC South game. And then my second bet, Bucs-Falcons first quarter under 7.5. Atlanta's first 4 games this year, 3 of them have gone under the first quarter. So I'll take the minus 7.5, minus 120.
So let me ask you this, because I know you expect not as many points, and really primetime games have been all about the unders. But Atlanta does not have a game all year that they haven't allowed at least 18 points. And the Bucs offense, minus the Broncos game, has looked pretty good. Does that not scare you at all, Raphael?
No, because primetime. It's going to be a weird game like AB. I would not be shocked if we see a 6-3 SEC battle that we used to see LSU and Alabama play. It's something weird's going to happen tonight.
I'll jump in on that. I'll give you another stat here. Yeah. So Baker and the Bucs, one of statistically the worst teams in the NFL at taking sacks offensively this season, right? So it shapes the way that they've played offense. Very short, quick passes, all right? They only have 3 rushing touchdowns this year, and Baker's 2 of them, right? The Falcons, they're the worst team in the NFL at getting sacks defensively. I'm telling you, this game is odd, man. Like, someone's going to play a completely different game than what they've done all year. It's going to get weird.
From a betting standpoint, I kind of like a game that we don't know what's going to happen. I think it's fun to see who's going to be right and who's going to be wrong. And Subi, let me come over to you, because last week Baker Mayfield had his best game of the entire year against a really good Philadelphia Eagles team, well over 300 yards. And I don't know if the offensive staff for the Bucs are saying, you know what, that needs to be what we do. But do you expect maybe they might lean into that a little bit tonight?
They're going to lead into Mike Evans and that Baker connection. It is just, he had 13 receiving touchdowns last year, one of the tops in the NFL. Mike Evans is one of the most confident receivers in the league. 10 straight years of 1,000 receiving yards. No receiver has ever done that. No Jerry Rice, no Randy Moss. That's what he's going to do. And Chris Godwin is having a much better year. Those 2 guys, he needs to get them the ball, and that's how maybe the Bucs could win the game.
And it's really cool, Charles, that this team, after all the drama with Tom Brady going after Baker Mayfield, has meant nothing this week. And this team, and you never could have imagined 2 years ago that you would say that any team in the NFL would be following Baker Mayfield's every single move. They love this dude. He is a clear leader.
He's a leader. Yeah, we knew that coming out of college, though, but it just took him a little bit to grow into his profile into the league. So he's maturing as a quarterback. But I don't know if you've noticed this, but the total is starting to move in this game also. So we may get us a little shootout. I don't know. I'm looking at that first half moving up and that full game moving up. I'm seeing some 44.5s. So I'm not if Rafi Schefter over there is seeing the same thing. So.
We got about 20 seconds, Raphael. Are you seeing it move?
Yeah, it's a couple 44.5s, but it looks like those are probably big parlays with favored and over. So they have to move the total. They ain't going to move the side bet.
All right. Don't forget, coming up in about 20 minutes from right now, we have our prop plays for the day. Also, our key matchups on the ground, our key matchups in the air. And AB, we've completely overlooked. I've only got 15 seconds, but Chick-fil-A will be open tonight in the building. It's a Thursday. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. And go get that Arnold Palmer, the sweet tea lemonade combo. Telling you, that thing's money.
Oh, money. You're damn right. We're just getting started here on DTL Primetime Live. I told you what's coming up, but we're coming back on DTL. Oh, Primetime on Stadium. Love it. Come on back. All right, for all of you degenerates out there here on our YouTube page, we continue on and talk about parlays. Something that Raphael absolutely loves. Let's start with the visiting side, the Bucs side. Over at DraftKings AB, you put together a nice little 3-bag here. What do we like?
All right, so here's what we have here. Let me put this up. All right, Bucs plus 2.5. Mike Evans, anytime TD, Baker Mayfield, 175 plus passing yards plus 300. Or Bucs plus 2.5. Chris Godwin, anytime TD. Kirk Cousins to throw a pick at plus 525. And then finally, Bucs to win the game outright. Mike Evans, anytime TD. And Baker Mayfield, 250 plus passing yards. So, yeah, you said it. Raphael, start us off. What do you got?
Oh, parlays. I love them. Give me the first one at 3-1. Give me the Bucs plus 2.5. Mike Evans anytime TV, because if the Bucs are going to score, it might probably he's going to be him. And I'll take Baker Mayfield plus 175 passing yards.
Okay, Soupy.
I hate all of them because I have the Falcons winning, but if I had to pick one, I'm going with the plus 600. I like Mike Evans scoring, and Baker Mayfield, he's going to hit a lot of throws tonight. I think he can hit that 250.
Big Chuck.
Yeah, I'm going to go with option A plus 300, Bucks plus 2.5. Try to middle that one. Mike Evans is a beast around the red zone. And then Baker, I'm sure he could get to 200 passing yards. So for show purposes, plus 300.
Coach, where you going?
I would encourage people to look at Soupy's fantasy draft record, because he's completely wrong, as is Chuck, as is Raphael. You got to go to plus 300, AP, because I already have the Bucks. Love them. Baker Mayfield, I've got him coming up in a little bit later. And then Mike Evans. Does he not always be – I can't even talk. Isn't he not always the guy that Baker Mayfield looks at, AB, inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone? He's the guy. Plus 300, give it to me.
All right. Look, I feel you on that. I'm going to go Godwin here. I'm going with number 2. I'll take the Bucks 2.5. I'll take Godwin anytime TD. And Kirk Cousins, the cuz. All right, he's on a pick, 525. That's where I'm going, Coach.
Dan says, I love it when Charles says for show purposes. That's his very polite way of saying, I ain't playing none of these because I'm on the other side. You can learn a little something there, Soupy. All right, we're back on Stadium live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back to DTL Prime Time live on Stadium, also simulcast on YouTube. Now, for all of you out there, you love the quarterback play. It begins and ends every single game, but no other show in the world has what we have, and that is that man in the lower right-hand corner who dissects the quarterbacks like nobody else. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the No-Fly Zone.
Let's dive it right into the no-fly zone. And here's Baker Mayfield up against the Falcons secondary rankings. Like I said, both of these defenses are bend but don't break. You see, Falcons pretty good in the short perimeters, not so good deep perimeters. But you look at Baker Mayfield, this is a left to right moving offense. And you see, look at all those completions in the green dots, 5 yards and in. Sometimes it'll creep to 10. Few will creep to 15, but that's about when it stops. And like we said, the Falcons defense will give you the passing game up front, but they're not going to give it to you deep. Now, we take a look here at Baker's quadrants. All right, the name of the game for both of these defenses is who can get the opposing quarterback in a tough spot, throwing off of a back foot and deep. Baker, trouble, intermediate left, deep middle, deep right. That's where he is going to be in trouble. But if the Falcons can't get him to throw there because he's throwing 5 yards every single pass, it is going to be tough. That being said, though, Baker facing the worst sack defense in the NFL. This is the first game he's going to have time back there to throw. So he's going to test it. All right, take a look at Baker and his game scripts here. Elevated pass attempts. The Falcons will give him passes short all day long. Must avoid the sacks. Cannot leave themselves in bad spots behind the sticks. You're going to see an increase in completions, and you're going to see elevated short receptions, both wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs. 3.5 stars to throw a pick tonight. Now, take a look at Kirk Cousins. Guess what? Bucs defense, pretty good. All right. Short, they can get you. Deep, they can get you. But they play the same style as the Falcons. They'll give you the short passing game. They're not going to give you the deep passing game. Thing for Kirk Cousins, look at this. 10 yards and in, left to right offense. I'm telling you, these are the same teams. They operate the exact same way. Kirk Cousins will take everything that you give him. So the battle tonight, Who can get him in a bad spot and throw it deep? Deep middle, trouble. Kirk, don't do it. Intermediate left, intermediate right, don't do it. And definitely do not throw transcontinental routes. And what I mean by that, what I mean by that is when you start on the left or the right, you go about 7 yards, all right? Run that flag route and go across the field. That is not going to be good because it gives secondaries time to catch your pass. All right? Game scripts. Look at this. Increased pass attempts, elevated rushing TDs. We'll get to that in a second. Increased short completions and elevated running back receptions. I'm telling you, these two defenses will give you everything in the moon 5 yards and in, and these two quarterbacks will take it. However, somebody's going to change the game because you have to. Kirk Cousins, 4 out of 5 stars to throw a pick tonight. Both of them, Coach, are going to do it.
Wow. So if your book has an over 1.5 or pretty good numbers on either separately, I would encourage you to get that in right now. I'm also listening, AB, and as my brain processes everything you just gave us, even though a lot of fans might think, well, they may throw it a lot, if they're completing a lot, that means the referee is going to keep going like this, and the game could be a lot shorter than longer, correct?
It could. It could. I'll give you another stat to just keep your mind in a pretzel. You know how many passing touchdowns the Bucs have given up this year defensively?
No.
One. They've given up 1. That's it. You know how many the Falcons have given up? 3. That's it. But both of these teams only throw passing touchdowns. The Falcons have only run in 1 rushing touchdown this year. The Bucs have only had 3, and Baker was 2 of them. I'm telling you, this game is going to be a chess match, man, because it cannot operate how both of these teams normally do. Someone has to change.
Very interesting. Shout out to Sports Run. He said all of Kirk Cousins' 4 interceptions are at home so far in 2024.
Yep.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Raphael, let me come over to you because this is such a fascinating quarterback matchup. We made so much in the offseason about Kirk Cousins, $180 million. The first couple of games, he looked like he had just come off an Achilles injury, but now he's moving around much quicker. He's making a lot more decisions. They have a nice last-second win last week. How much do you think for Kirk Cousins, the way he's played the last couple of weeks, even in the loss to Kansas City, the confidence looks like it's growing, and growing?
I don't know about confidence, but I think he's just looking more comfortable with his brand new teammates. But AB can nail the chess match and this division game. People forget this is a division game, and the Falcons are coming off a division win. The chess match of both quarterbacks who do not want to make a mistake tonight is going to be such key. Kirk Cousins at home, coming off a big win against the Saints. I just like his chess moves tonight more than like Baker. So I like Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to do really well. He's 8-3 against the spread on primetime games.
Look at all you guys throwing out all the stats, coming hard on a Thursday night. Big Chuck, coming over to you, big boy, because when you talk about Baker Mayfield, if you would have told me 3 or 4 years ago, and you talk about betting on yourself, how about signing with the Rams for 1 game, showing out, and then getting the spot after Tom Brady? I don't know that I've ever seen a quarterback have the resurgence that number 6, the former number 1 overall pick, has done in his career. We never see this. We're seeing it now.
I mean, maybe Kurt Warner had a little resurgence with the Cardinals, but yeah, Baker Mayfield, he's doing quite well. I'm a fan of Baker. I always have been, so I always pull for him. And I remember that Monday Night Football game also. He beat the Raiders that night, so with the Rams. So I was always pulling for him. I always will, except for tonight, hoping that maybe he doesn't have his best night. Maybe throws a pick, and then we move on the next week. So, but as far as me rooting for him, always.
Wait a second. You just corrected me using the example of an Arena League football player who came into the league and had a couple of good years? That's what you're doing to me?
I figured you would be a fan of old Kurt Warner. Show me state.
I am, but he wasn't. Okay. He didn't have a resurgence. He wasn't a number 1 overall pick. He didn't go to 8,000 different teams.
He won the Super Bowl. He went to the Giants. He fell off. They thought he was going to retire. He went to the Big Toaster, come back, and then he had a second Hall of Fame career.
I think he bagged my groceries.
Chris Berman's office used to be right down the hall. Do you know that he never sent an email? He didn't have the computer in his office. He literally was all about the shows. And they let him because he was Boomer and you're Soupy. And Soupy, when we look at these two quarterbacks, all the guys, they have so many different takes. And I'm fascinated and I'm excited about this tonight. I'm also excited because I think tonight's going to directly affect the rest of the season, how these two guys play. Who has to play better tonight in order to get the dub?
It has to be Kirk Cousins, just because a lot of people are doubting. We're doubting him at the beginning of this season, but he is the most consistent quarterback that we've seen in the last decade. Before last season's injury, 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns in 8 straight seasons. No other quarterback had done that in that span. And we've already seen what Baker Mayfield can do with this offense. Now, Kirk Cousins has to prove that he could do this with the Falcons long enough for 17 games where they can win the NFC South.
Jason in the chat, AB, says Cousins rushes for a touchdown. I don't know what the odds on that are, but I don't think that dude is leaving the pocket. Do you?
If you hit that tonight, you don't have to go to work tomorrow. Just put it that way. All right. Look at his rushing yards, -2. Now, I want to say this, highlight real quick. Look at the passing yardage. Okay. Baker Mayfield is top 6 in yardage passing this year. Kirk Cousins is around 14. These are a lot of yards, 984, 864 comparatively. And think about this. Okay. You see those numbers. The Bucs only have one pass this season that was 40 yards or more. One. That means they are throwing a ton of passes that are being caught. And you see it, 70.5% completion percentage. He's throwing short yardage routes all day long. And Kirk Cousins, 864 passing yards. And guess what? They have only thrown 2 passes that have gone 40 yards or more this season. These two teams are the same team, and they are just literally snap, throw, snap, throw. Those leak routes all night long, man. Like, that's a lot of yards for not having any deep balls.
By the way, AB, leave it to our man Raphael to find the number if Kirk Cousins does run the first touchdown into the game. If he does what we don't think he'll do for $100, Raphael, what is somebody going to win?
It's 50 or it's plus 5,500 for him to be the first touchdown. I think all of us should get in the club if he scores the first touchdown.
I'm so close to just.
Well, hold on. I need to go to Opry Mills. Shout out to anybody in Nashville and go to that money converter translation thing. How many nickels is 55?
That's very true. This also begs the question. Speaking of getting into the club, AB, you're in, Chuck is in, the 3 of us on top are not in. Now that Seabass has a new little baby boy, he probably won't be allowed to go to the club or have the energy for a while. Do we throw his kind of key back into the mix? Does he still have a diamond since he's not going to be able to use it?
So here's the deal. First off, his kid is not getting free admission. You have to hit it too, buddy. All right. Welcome to life. All right. And number 2, look, we're selling Seabass's seat. No, I'm just kidding. He's got an honorary seat. He can come, but you can't bring your kid. Congratulations. He's got to earn it.
Can you imagine? Seabass walks up to the club, slides the guy a hundo. He walks in, little man on his arm, high-fiving AB, Tina, Big Chuck, looking out the window at me and Raphael and Soupy going, boys, yeah, ain't going to be you.
That's where you take it. You clip the $100 bill like to the clipboard. And you go, thanks. Yep. Sorry. Still not on the list. You can either keep peeling hundreds or you can just keep going. I don't know. It's your decision.
Oh we still don't have the name for the little man yet either. I'm sure that's going to come out. But full disclosure, I asked Seabass, I said, hey, can we reveal the first picture? Because, he's very famous in the world, in the reality world. His wife is too. I said, how about we reveal the pictures here? He said flat no. It wasn't just a no. It was a hell no. Not going to be any pics on DTL. A little disappointed. But I respect it.
That kid's already making food videos. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's already got stuff slobbering down his chin. He always got whiskers.
I gave him his 100 back. Said, let me get one of them pulled pork sandwiches.
All right, still to come here at DTL Primetime Live. Clearly having a great time. We've got props coming up past the bottom of the hour. We're live on a Thursday night. All right, we continue on here on YouTube, and I got to tell you, we've been through the Bucs parlays, but now a lot of my guys, they are setting up in their seats. They are wide awake, AB, because these are the ones they're really looking forward to, according to DraftKings. Take it, sir.
All right, you've got three options here. Falcons -2.5. Bijan Robinson anytime TD. Kirk Cousins 200+ passing yards at +275. Falcons money line. Drake London anytime TD and Baker Mayfield to throw a pick +455. And then look at this, +675. Falcons -2.5. Cover the spread. Kyle Pitts anytime TD and Kirk Cousins to throw 2+ passing touchdowns. Yeah, so 675. Raphael, where are you going?
I want to take the last one, but I didn't know Kyle Pitts still plays it anymore. So I'm going to take
Yeah.
the first one. Give me the Falcons -2-1 and Bijan anytime score and Kirk Cousins 2+. So
Well,
plus 275 for me.
Yeah, like, and you bring up a good point. Like, if there were ever a game for Kyle Pitts, like, this is it. But they always have him in, oh, hey, let's just run 21 personnel and have him chip block. Like, great. That's what you do. That's what you drafted a first-round tight end for, to chip block. All right, Big Chuck, what do you like?
I'll take that Falcons money line and Drake, and then Baker Mayfield to throw a primetime pick +455. Love that one.
All right, Soupy.
I'm going to go with the chalkiest one. I like Bijan Robinson to score, Cousins over 200. I don't like Drake London's matchup, and I just don't straight up like Kyle Pitts.
I mean, how could you? Like, they've got him in blocking mode. Like, it's no fun, man. Coach, where are you going?
I love when Soupy doesn't allow his personal feelings to get in the way of betting. That's always nice to see.
I got none of them on my fantasy team.
Melanie said Soupy is going to like one of these. Well, he does like one. I'm going to go AB with the middle one. I love Drake London. I think he's a stud. Give me +455. I don't like Kirk Cousins to throw 2 passing touchdowns tonight. So I'll take the middle one.
I'm right there with you. I think the second one is the best option.
All right. Very, very good. By the way, in the chat, AB, Seabass says that his kid already has an elite palate for Seabass's little man. No doubt.
I'll tell you what, number one, I agree. He probably does it too. You bring, all right, some new crab cakes, you're in the club.
We are back live on Stadium in a couple seconds. All right, we continue on here on Stadium, having a great time. Week 5 launches tonight. We're just past the bottom of the hour. Thank you all for hanging out with us, whether it's on YouTube or on Stadium. Our new partners, wherever you find Stadium, you will find us. Stadium app, watchstadium.com. How about Amazon Prime Video? I love the gorgeous 5 faces right on my big screen right next to me on Amazon Prime Video. How about Roku TV, YouTube TV, all of it. Now, you've been waiting for a half an hour, but we got you covered. We gave you the straight picks, but AB, if you don't mind, it's a little time to prop it up. All right, he's one of our new favorite names to play, and eventually it's all going to be a sing-along, but right now I'm afraid we'd sound like idiots. So, Raphael, it's time for you to start us off with Coolville. You're up, big boy.
Oh, my favorite kicker. My favorite NFL player right now, probably. Coolville over 1.5 field goals today. I'll lay the -140. He had 4 field goals against the Saints. Sorry, Chuck. I didn't hate to keep on stabbing you in the back on that one. I'll take Baker Mayfield over 10.5 rushing yards, -120. Like DG said, maybe twinkle toes around the field today. Maybe score some rushing touchdown as well. Baker Mayfield over 10.5 rushing yards. And while I was speaking, big money just came in on DraftKings and at BetMGM and the home team. That's why it's -115 now on the juice 2.5. They really don't want to move it to 3.
Wow. So they'll move the juice instead of moving the number is what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
How high do you think they'll take it?
I have seen -120 on a Thursday and Monday night game on a 2.5 and a 6.5 because they don't want to hit those key numbers. So I don't think we'll see that, but I've seen -120.
All right, very good. AB, coming up to you, big boy. You're all over the quarterbacks tonight. Talk to me.
We're going to take Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins over 1.5 interceptions +130. All right. Anybody that's new, you could find this at BetMGM. It's a combined. Baker could throw 2, Cousins 0, we hit. Cousins throw 2, Baker throws 0, we hit. We just have to get over 1.5 with either of these quarterbacks. But let me say, all right, the books don't know what to do with this either because you've got Baker and Kirk at around minus 130, minus 125, respectively. If you want to play this singularly with either quarterback, do it. I'm 100% for it because, again, this is going to be a tricky game, but I'll just roll with the 2 just in case. Also going to take Baker Mayfield over 3.5 rush attempts at plus 115. All right, we all know into the first half, into the game, kneel downs, they count as rush attempts. But Baker is finally going to have time tonight. It's the first time all season that he's not just under immense pressure. But what does that do when you play against a dime defense? You stand there. They call it a coverage sack, except he takes off running. We're going to take Baker over 3.5 rush attempts at plus 115.
Hey, AB, I got you covered, big boy. He's going to be sitting on 1. And then we get to the end of the game. Chuck, Soupy, Raphael, they're all going to be crying in their milk because he's going to kneel it down 1, 2, and as The Rock used to say, 3. I loved when he did.
You know, the best ever, like when you know your karma's good is when you have a quarterback on rushing attempts and like say it's Baker and the Falcons score a touchdown at the end of the first half with like 3 seconds left or a field goal and they kick off to the Bucs, but it's going to go through the end zone, so no time comes off. Baker's going to run out there, kneel, and run off. And you're like, just stole a rush attempt right there. Those are the best, man.
I never thought I would be in this world thinking about all this stuff. But alas, here we are. Now, I'm going to go next. If you're going to cash with the coach, you're going to do it these plays tonight. I also like Baker Mayfield. I love the confidence he's playing with. At DraftKings, they have where you can ladder these. Very important. AB taught us this the other day. It's a very different bet, and I want to make sure to be very clear. 2+ touchdowns, meaning at least 2, and I love that juice right there. And then over 242.5 passing yards. I just think that they're going to be throwing it a lot tonight. He went well over 300 yards a week ago. I think they figured out for them to be successful with those weapons, it's got to be through the air. So I love this number. I think he could easily get to 260 or 270. Big Chuck, coming up to you.
My man Bijan Robinson, over 27.5 receiving yards. They keep giving these low numbers. He's had 28 or more receiving yards in every game this season, so I can see him getting those little dump outs out of the backfield. Primetime Kirk getting him going. So, yeah, love over 27.5 for Bijan. And then Darnell Mooney, that's secretly becoming Kirk's one of his favorite targets. He has 14 receptions over the last 3 games, averaging 70 yards per game. So, yeah, give me Mooney over 45.5 receiving yards.
Man, I love when you find those nugouts doing the work every game this season. Raphael, go.
Bijan number is low because he was questionable on it. So his limits are really low. He's probably one of the lower limit guy for bets. So if you're trying to get maybe a big bet on any of his prop bets, you're probably only going to get half because he was questionable pretty much all week.
All right, so if you're wondering, when you try to put that number in, say, well, I found that out on DTL tonight. That's what we tell you all the time. Listen to my guys. Now, Big Super, you got 3 plays. Give them to me.
I'm giving you the roles of each of these players tonight. AB said that he's going to throw short passes. Baker is going to have confidence in that, and he's going to keep attempting it all night. Bucky Irving has outsnapped Rashad White and has outcarried him in one game. Bucky has 5.7 yards after contact in the last 2 games, 3.9 this year. That's better than Derrick Henry. And Rashad White still is a factor in the receiving game. He's hit this in 2 of 4 games, over 19.5 reception yards.
By the way, did you just hear that disrespect, AB? And yeah, you can go. He's disrespecting your boy Derrick Henry and your takes, sir.
Hey, you know what? A stat is a stat. It's good. It's good. Now, to back up, not only Soupy, but you as well, Coach, all right, yes, on these Baker, passing yards, attempts, and then receiving props for the Bucs as well. The Falcons defense is the second worst secondary in the NFL in terms of giving up pass completions. All right. Teams are completing passes at a 74% clip against this defense all night long. They are completing passes. So love all your plays there.
Well, let's take a look then at those running backs, because you said we're going to have a lot of short passes, correct, AB? Short passes mean to running backs. Completions, yes. So these are the numbers according to DraftKings. So, AB, if we're looking at these with Bucky and Bijan, should we go down to, I don't know. I mean, I know we don't have the pass-catching numbers up there, but maybe we should be looking at pass-catching numbers instead of running numbers. What do you think?
Yeah, and look at all of them. And then here's the other thing, too. All right. Both of these teams have really solid other running backs that they use. All right. Bucky Irving and Rashad White. On the other side, Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Like, that's the difficult part. But again, this is why this game is so difficult to break down, because if you're running dime and I'm up on you and you're giving the short pass, I'm going to run it all day long until you move that defense up. Like, that's where it's difficult, man. Like, I would look for hitting a prop once, right? A longest rush, especially if you have 6 DBs that are 8 yards and back. That's where I'd look, because cumulative prop bets could be difficult.
That's exactly where I was going, Raphael. I looked at that 14.5 Bijan because he is, and I like Bucky, but Bijan, I know he's been limited in practice, everybody in the chat. I get that. But this dude, when he gets past that first line, he's very, very hard to catch up with.
Yeah, I agree. That 13.5 longest rushing yard for Bucky looks really good, but his rushing yard is 45.5. I would go rushing and receiving at 55.5, laying the 3 nickels. I think that's great value because that covers you if he needs a dump pass for the screen pass, which we're going to see both backs and both sides get that. I like the 55 rushing and receiving yards for Bucky.
All right, let's switch over to the receiving lines now. We'll bring Soupy and Charles in on this, but real quick, Soupy, your bitter rival just hit a play from the morning show. How do you feel about DG? Texas State 14-0 first quarter. Boom, bang that cash ticket.
Finally, something not his blue shirt.
Well,
not feeling blue like his blue shirt.
That was great trash talk right there. That was next level kind of stuff right there. Just set you up, you knocked it down. Let's go.
Yeah, good night, folks. Have a great time. Yeah,
we've been here all night.
I'll be here all week.
Oh, my God. All right, Soupy, let's look at Mike Evans and Drake London. And Drake London, it seems like every week getting better and better and better. Like any of these numbers, sir?
It's not the gem, but I'm taking Mike Evans as the first TD, but not the gem, because Baker just has so much confidence in him. Last year, he led the team in targets, catches, and receiving touchdowns in the red zone. Not necessarily this year, but he has so much confidence in giving Mike Evans that fade pass.
Dan says the local comedy club is waiting for you, Soupy.
I tried. It actually cost money to do a set. It cost me money to do a set.
That's true. You would have to pay.
I'm not paying to entertain everybody. You guys get it here for free.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Look, I've done one of those open mic nights, Wednesday night. All right. That's how you get down. But you got to bring 2 friends, and they have to buy drinks. So that's how you get it. You're going to have to buy some drinks to do it. But Zany's, Nashville, 8th Avenue, shout out.
I don't know what would be more difficult for Soupy, the buying the drinks part or finding 2 friends to go for him part. I don't know. Big Chuck, coming over to you.
I am cheap.
Yeah, we're all cheap. Charles, I love both of these guys. And when Coach Phil used to be a part of our brand, he's going to be back one day. He used to rave about how underrated Mike Evans truly is, but within the league, he is not.
Oh, yeah, I love Mike Evans, especially coming out of A&M. He was a total beast. But I like Mike Evans on the receptions. I think he could get at least 5 receptions. And I love Drake London to catch an anytime touchdown plus 140. He already has 2 on the season. And he had 2 in a row until last week. I think he could get back in the end zone tonight. So, yeah, I love that anytime touchdown plus 140 for Drake London.
Yeah, like AB said, though, there's so many other weapons outside of these 2 guys, too. And it'll probably be the night we make fun of Kyle Pitts. He hasn't shown up all year. They still put his number in the 40s every single week. AB, this is going to be the night that he does something when we don't think that he is.
It is. And look, I'll go back to the well here. The Falcons, all right, their defense, they've only given up 3 passing touchdowns all season. The Bucs, they've only given up 1 passing touchdown all season. That's it. Like, that's why this game is crazy, man. Like, every time you find a trend, it's the exact opposite on the other side. But I like receptions in this game. I'm all about it. Now, the difficult part is that you've got multiple receivers. Chris Godwin on the Bucs side, he actually has higher numbers. But if I'm going to go anything, man, it's going to be receptions. And if you look to go longest reception, these guys will try deep, I assure you. But you're going to need yak in order to probably get it. Nice 11-yard slant there, and then hoping to run. Yeah, give me receptions.
Soupy, that means yard after catch, if you were wondering what yak meant. All right, still to come. We got the gym. We got the look ahead. We're having a great time. Primetime live on Stadium. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page. It never stops going here at DTL. Now, I know for all of you degenerates out there that you don't like to wait for a full game to cash. We got you covered. We got 2 first-half plays from both teams. AB, take it.
Bucs first half plus half a point minus 110, or Bucs team total over 9.5 at minus 135. Exactly what Raphael was talking about. All right. Sometimes they don't want to move the number, but they will move the juice, even though 10.5, that's a completely different number than 9.5. Or Falcons minus half a point, minus 110, or the Falcons team total over 10.5 at plus 105. So Raphael, I'll throw it over to you. Like, what do you see out of this? Because here's the interesting part. All right, the line moved from 1.5 to 2.5, as we discussed, but the first half spread did not move. It stayed half a point all day.
Wow.
The first half never gets better. It's like the worst first NFL. The first half is just probably one of the waste of time bets to do for NFL. But I'll take the Falcons minus a half, minus 110. Rise up, baby.
Big Chuck.
I'm right there with you, rising up. I like the Falcons to cover the first half. They're going to win the game. They're most likely going to cover the first half. So, yeah, I'm right with you, minus 110.
Okay, Soupy.
You could do a bet where you could do with the team leading at the halftime and winner. I would take the Falcons for that.
First half full game. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Coach.
I love how our entire crew understands the entertainment side of DTL Primetime Live. That's always nice to hear. Don't do it. Don't make any of these bets. Don't do anything. They suck. I'll take Bucs team total over 9.5, AB.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I like that. Here's the question. You can get no points scored in any quarter tonight at around plus 245. Would anyone take that?
Wow.
I would.
Maybe the first quarter.
Third quarter.
Yeah, and you could get any quarter. Like, it counts the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, you get all
That's
4
all game.
quarters.
Oh,
in
you
that
can bet it. You can bet it in any of the
It counts
quarters.
the whole game, any quarter.
Oh, wow.
I'd throw it out there. Why not?
It's a popular female bet. Like when couples come to the books and stuff like that, it's a popular female bet. If she's gonna sit there and watch the whole game.
On that note, we're back on Stadium in 5 seconds. Oh, my goodness. What a night. You never know where this show is going. Welcome back to Stadium on YouTube TV, Amazon Prime Video, Roku TV, the Stadium app. In fact, Soupy, somebody sent me a screenshot. You were on the front page of the Stadium app, your big old mug yesterday. You're like becoming a superstar.
I'm not going to let it get to me. You know, was DG on the front page? I don't think so.
Yeah,
he had the shades. He had the poofy, his wife's jacket.
Chinchilla.
He wasn't on the front page.
Yeah, I want to ask his uncle if he's got any coats I can borrow.
Yeah, Aunt Linda has a few.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh, hey, let me throw this out there real quick. Like,
Yeah.
going off of these stats. So all of that, you see that it's just been passes down the field, scoring points, both of these teams up. Guess what? They're 2 of the worst teams in the NFL at time of possession. What do you do with that?
By the way, I don't know, AB, but we've got to do a little damage control because of Raphael. Melanie says, Raphael used to be one of my faves. Tina says, oh, no, I thought they were trying to get viewers. LOL. For those of you
I wasn't
watching,
being negative.
Hey, in the Stadium world, you don't exist. That was at our break. So we don't need to repeat what you said, but the OGs heard what you said.
If you're going against Tina and Melanie.
Oh, Tina, I don't mess with Tina. I'm sorry. Tina, I apologize.
Have you met Melanie? I wouldn't mess with her either.
I wouldn't mess with
Raphael's
Melanie either.
never getting into the club now. He's
Never.
Tina's right there at the door like that guy. Nope.
Yeah, Tina already told Big John at the door, if that guy with the glasses, shaved head comes to the door, ain't going to happen. And she was first in the door, so it doesn't even matter. Big John's going to do whatever.
Sometimes
Tina
stats
wants.
get you in trouble. Sometimes
You're going to have to
stats
start
get you in
printing
trouble.
fake $10,000 bills in the basement to start getting there if you make them, both of them mad.
Well, Stevie says Raph is a menace to society. Now, real quick, our look ahead. We'll be back Sunday night. I'm going to be after a 5-hour drive. I'm going to be tired. You guys are going to have to lift me up. I'm going to be with Brett Saberhagen, former Cy Young winner, World Series champion Saturday night. But we have perhaps the two greatest fan bases in the NFL matching up Sunday night, the Cowboys and the Steelers. Some legendary matchups. This one's very, very important. And AB, the Cowboys coming off a less than scintillating win over the New York Giants, and the Steelers coming off their first loss of the season. Who needs it more?
You're correct, Coach. And I'm also an idiot and forgot to put that graphic in the slide. So you've got the Steelers a 2.5-point favorite. All right, that ain't Coach's fault. That's my fault. Steelers 2.5-point favorite and a total of 44. Look, I love the Steelers and I love Mike Tomlin, but the Cowboys have to win this game. And you're right. Look, these two fan bases are the most popular from NFL perspective in the world. And fun fact, go look at the fan base in Mexico for the Steelers. Massive. Yeah, it's awesome.
There are more Steelers bars out here in California than there are Rams or Chargers.
Yep.
That's a fact. Big Soupy. Mike Tomlin has been very supportive of Justin Fields. They've won with some smoke and mirrors. Dak Prescott's making $60 million a year. He ain't going nowhere. Which quarterback plays better?
Dak Prescott, I think because the passing game in itself, I think he has the better wide receivers. The running backs, but I think Dak has the better game this week.
Raphael, let me come over to you. Do you think this line moves at all between now and Sunday night?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Steeler money will come in because it's a Sunday night game, favored and over. This one's going to be very interesting because on the running side, because you have a mobile quarterback for Pittsburgh that's going to be wanting to run out. Cowboys always struggle with mobile quarterbacks. And isn't every game a big game for the Cowboys that they need to win? Every game is a big game for them.
You are so miserable sometimes. Just miserable.
Big
Chuck.
Sorry.
Heavy. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, we talk about the Cowboys and not having a run game, and the Steelers, we know that they could shut down your run. Hey, you can't shut down my run game if I ain't got one. All right. So good luck on that one. Yeah.
You can't shut it down. If I don't got one, you don't get one. Yeah. Big Chuck, your thoughts on Sunday night, sir?
Yeah, like the Steelers, I think we may see a shutout. I think Dak may throw a pick. Sorry, Dak, Halton's finest. And I think TJ Watt may get a sack. So, yeah, I think those all kind of correlate together.
Maybe TJ Watt could tell his brother to make better commercials. That Miller Lite, terrible.
It's weird. Yeah.
Terrible. It is.
Real quick, going off of that quote right there of you can't stop it. Bill Belichick, I heard him say one time, somebody asked him at a press conference. I was sitting right there. They go, "Hey, Coach, are you worried about, getting stopped on third down?" He goes, "You can't stop me on third down if your ass never gets me in third down." He's awesome.
Now, I love all these sayings. We may have a first here at DTL Primetime Live because tonight, if Raphael gets into the club, it may be the first time ever somebody gets into the club that's not allowed into said club. That could happen tonight, courtesy Tina. Now, if you guys are new to our brand, we do this at the end of every single show. It's got to be plus 1,000 or higher to get into the club. We've got two members on the screen right now that are already popping bottles. They can't wait to get off the show and head straight to the club, watch the game, and just have a great Thursday night. But AB was the first to get the diamond. So, AB, you get to go first tonight.
Let's go. All right. Baker Mayfield plus 2,200. Like I said, the Bucs only have 3 rushing touchdowns this year. Baker's 2 of them. The Falcons, all right, they give up rushing touchdowns. They don't give up passing touchdowns. Baker knows it's important division game. He gets down there. He'll take it himself.
Big Chuck, from what I understand, because I've got my little people everywhere, you are a low-key savage in the club right now. Who do you got tonight?
I heard right. Yeah, Darnell Mooney. He's becoming Kirk's one of his favorite targets. I think we could even knock out a 2-for-1, hit him with one of them long ones, knock out the receiving yards and that first touchdown all in one. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice. Raphael, Tina says the bouncers have already been tipped off. You're dead meat, sir. But, hey, give it an effort anyway. Where are you going?
The guy that we made fun of all show is probably going to get the touchdown. I get in, and I still don't get in. So give me Kyle Pitts at 14-1. So I'll watch. I guess I'll just drink by myself at home.
We don't want to develop any bad habits, Raphael. We really, really don't. All right, Soupy, best beard in the game. Where are you headed?
Tyler Algier has been the better short game runner. He's has more carries and more rushing yards in the red zone. Bijan has -2 rushing yards in the red zone. They're going to give it to him at the 1. He goes in, Tyler Algier.
All right. Producer man, who is currently starting a vacation. What's that about? He's on Rashid White. Little chalky, but hey, it still is legal nevertheless. And the entire chat agrees with your boy, Kate Otten, and all of his numbers tonight. Receptions, yards, and first touchdowns. And unlike a lot of you clowns, I didn't go chalk tonight. Plus 2,000. Ring the bell. Boom. Now, we've only got about a minute and 20 seconds left. So I've got about 15 seconds for each of you. Let's go around, Chuck, and all the way around. Your final takes on tonight. Go, Chuck.
I think this is going to be a good one. Don't be surprised if it doesn't come down to that last possession again with a little coup. Y'all might say it better than I.
We say it a lot better. AB, go.
Well, I don't know if that was English or not, but look, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see the passing game for both quarterbacks. Big Chuck, I'm just messing with you, buddy. Yeah, the short passing game. I'm interested to see.
Deserved it.
Yeah, no. Who could get the other team out of it, right? Like, that's the chess battle, is how and who can get the other team out of their comfort and rhythm.
Soupy.
I think the team that has the ball at the final 2 minutes are going to be the ones that win the game.
Oh, my God. Please, Raphael.
The quarterback who got paid over the summer the most, as Kirk Cousins, is going to get the W. He's going to have the best game.
Oh, my God. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to have a direct effect, and I think a lot of what happens moving forward in the NFC will be based off of what we see tonight. I told you I had the best crew in the middle. Pulling my best.
Got him.
Yeah, you did. All right, understand this. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. God, I love doing this show. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Thursday night tickets straight to the pay window. Ryan Tiger, love ball. My man from the Dirty Big Chuck. Best beard in the game, Soupy. 0-4 fantasy. Be better. My numbers guy, Raphael Esparza. AB, producer man, I am the coach. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here every single night. DTL Primetime Live on Stadium. Good luck.